Welcome to the Fralin Spotlight Talks for YouTube. Before we begin, I encourage you to use these videos interactively. When you are prompted to observe, pause the video and look carefully. When the educator asks a question, feel free to pause the video again and discuss your observations and ideas, making sure to address what you see that makes you say that. Enjoy!
Let's begin by taking a moment to look closely at these acrylic hairstyle paintings, each presented on a particle board. These signs come from Côte d'Ivoire and were painted by unrecorded African sign artists, estimated to have been illustrated between the 1980s and 1990s. First, let's focus on the women's signboard called Hand-Painted Sign Illustrating Hairstyles for Women. Begin at the top left corner and let your eye travel from left to right across the rows until you've examined all 24 hairstyles. Which hairstyle sticks out the most to you when you first look at this image? What colors do you notice? Take a moment to note your observations. Note what you find interesting and any details that catch your eye. If you are participating with friends, classmates, or family, feel free to pause and share your observations. You can also pause and write down any of your thoughts. I noticed the bright teal-blue background and how the subjects are wearing either red or yellow clothing. I also noticed the details in each of their hairstyles and facial expressions. What do you notice that I haven't mentioned? Now, let's turn our attention to the men's signboard called Hand-Painted Sign Illustrating Hairstyles for Men. Again, let your eye travel slowly across the painting, row by row, until you've gotten a close look at each of the 8 men's hairstyles. Which hairstyle sticks out the most to you when you first look at this image? What colors do you notice? Pause the video to note your observations. I notice how this painting is in black and white, but the men's shirt collars are light pink. I also notice the differences in facial features and slight differences of expression, along with the variations in hairstyles. What do you notice? Let's look at both paintings together now. What do they have in common? What is different about each of the paintings? Take a minute or two to pause the video, observe both paintings together, and compare and contrast them. Big differences I notice are the use of color, the number of hairstyles, and the positioning of the heads. The men are painted back to back with their side profiles on view, while the majority of the women are painted showing only the back of their head. However, they are similar because both paintings are rectangular and display hairstyles in multiple rows and columns. I also noticed small details of worn edges and slight chipping on the paintings, which hints at their age. What other similarities and differences do you notice? Now that we've made some close observations, I would like to share about the cultural context surrounding these hairstyle paintings and their significance. Hand-painted signs, like these created by artists in Côte d'Ivoire, are common throughout Africa, mainly used by shop owners seeking vibrant, eye-catching advertisements for their business. Hairstylists and barbers often showcase their skills in public spaces or traditional storefronts, and these signs provide customers with options and the ability to choose how they want to express themselves. The hairstyles themselves can vary from traditional styles with deep cultural and historical meanings to trendy contemporary cuts and styles, inspired by popular figures, especially influenced by African American pop culture and celebrity figures. For women, there are many long-standing braided hairstyles to note, like cornrows, Ghana braids, and African threads, which have been worn for generations. Each hairstyle has a unique history, origin, and significance, and the intricate weaving and skill required for these hairstyles can create a personal, intimate experience between the hairdresser and customer. Often, hairstyling for women can take place in porches, at markets, or in communal spaces without requiring a traditional storefront, but other times a traditional storefront is used. For men's hairstyles, on the other hand, heading to a barbershop storefront is far more commonplace, and signs like these are often displayed. Also, many signs exhibit influences from African American trends. Some signs include writing and labels for individual hairstyles, and in the 1980s and 1990s, for example, you might have seen a sign with a hairstyle named after celebrities like Will Smith, Tupac Shakur, and Ludacris. Besides serving as visual advertisements for hairdressers and barbers, hairstyle signs represent the space of connection and culture. A shop is a social space where owners and customers interact, share stories, and share experiences, a conversation in which this art is significant. These signs play a role by capturing the essence of traditional and contemporary styles and contributing to personal self-expression. As viewers, we are invited to engage with these artworks, contemplate their cultural context, and create our own interpretations related to our own experiences. How does this context change the way you view these paintings? Do any of these hairstyles look familiar? What has been your experience in a hairdressing space or getting your hair done? How are your senses engaged? What do you smell, feel, or touch? Take a moment to digest these questions and reflect on your experience. Pause the video to write down your ideas. Now, looking at these paintings, how do your experiences of getting your hair done affect the way you view these paintings? What connections can you make between your experiences and these paintings? The sign artist's paintings carry layers of meaning and personal narratives, connecting viewers to the rich heritage of African hairstyling and its evolving influence in society. Thank you for watching this video and participating in this experience.
We hope you've enjoyed this Writer's Eye Spotlight Talk. Please reach out to the Education Department with any questions or feedback. Our email is museumoutreach@virginia.edu.